you guys. Hey, you guys. Hey, you guys. Hi, it's us. It's it's Scott. It's me. You guys are here. And sorry we had to miss this weekend because we had company. And we tried to do yesterday, but you know, today's airlines will push the flight time back. And so, it was what it was. Scott, are you going to say hi to the people?
Hello.
Period. Okay, so we're going to play catch up. We're going to do a little makeup sessions because we missed you guys. So we're going to start off with what we would naturally start off with, which is famous fairy tales. Now, today's title is Jack or Jay-Z, You Be the Judge. Scott, what story do you think we're reading today?
Jack and Jill.
Close.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Period. Yes. Scott gets $5,000.
Nice.
Somebody got to get it. Okay, well, here we go. Y'all be the judge. Jack or Jay-Z, and I'll kind of tell you where my mind goes. Because, when I love Jay-Z, especially, his when he got older, that stuff, his raps when he got older. And, of course, I went on and listened to, his life story. And I was like, oh, that sounds like Jack and the Beanstalk. So y'all tell me what you think. You ready, Scott?
Right.
I'll go into a little detail. It's or y'all can go look at it because it's a rather interesting come up. So anyway, here we go. In the days of King Alfred, there lived a poor woman in a country village in England. She had been a widow for some years and had an only son named Jack, to whom she granted every wish. This ain't gonna go well, ma'am. It never goes well when you overspoil the children. Oh no. The result of this was that Jack did not pay attention to anything she said. See, right there. You spoil him. She spoiled this child, right? But was idle, careless, and wasteful. His follies were not owing to a bad disposition, but the fact that his mother had never checked him. Lesson today: check your children. You don't have to don't do corporal punishment, but you probably want to, if they do bad things, you want to be like, hey, don't play with me. Don't play yourself. Kind of thing. The poor woman one day met Jack with tears in his eyes, and for the first time in her life, she could not help scolding him, saying, you have at last brought me to ruin. Ma'am, you brought yourself to ruin by spoiling this child, but whatever. We'll act like you didn't do that. I have not money enough to buy even a bit of bread for another day. Girl, you did that to yourself, ma'am. Okay. Nothing now remains to sell but my poor cow. It grieves me sadly, but we must not starve. For a while, Jack felt sorry, but this feeling soon passed away, and he begged his mother to let him sell the cow at the next village. Don't do it. You ain't taught this child nothing but how to act a fool. You gonna just trust this, even though he brought you to ruin. You gonna let him take the cow down there and sell it for you? Scott, would you trust him? Would y'all trust him?
No.
I mean, we know how this ends, but just in case there's a story you don't know how it is, don't do it. And at last she gave her consent. Girl, this is where bad ideas begin and end. As he was going along, he met a butcher who inquired why he was driving the cow from home. Jack replied that he was going to sell it. Now, the butcher had some curious beans in his hat. They were of various colors and attracted Jack's attention. This the butcher noticed, and knowing Jack's easy temper, thought this was the time to take advantage of it. This is why she shouldn't have sent him. So he asked what the price of the cow was, offering at the same time all of the beans in his hat for her. The silly boy could not hide the joy he felt at what he supposed was a good offer. And the bargain was struck at once. Okay, so somebody came like, hey, I see you got that whole cow. Okay. I can make ribs out of it. I can make some ground beef out of it. I can make, what else can you make out of cow?
Well, I mean, I don't know that they got like that kind of cow.
What kind of cow do they have?
Well, I mean, I would assume it's like a milky cow.
But the butcher wanted the cow, so I'm assuming he gonna
Well,
butcher
I
it
guess
up.
that's true.
I mean, what else would a butcher want the cow for?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so beef out of it, some ground beef, some ribs. What else do you make? Steak.
Steaks.
And Jack over there, like, could you just give me that jar of beans over there? They got a couple of colors in there. Them look like marbles. Can I get that? Make sure y'all teach y'all children something so they don't be like Jack over there crying and hungry and looking sad and podunk. The cow was thus exchanged for a few paltry beans. Jack made his way back, calling to his mother before he reached home, thinking to surprise her. He thought he did good. He over there like, Mom, you ain't gonna believe it. Okay, I sold the cow. Like, before I even got to the market, guess what I got? Scott, what would you say if I was like, we don't need no bread, we got these beans. Look at these beans.
Great.
Yeah. When she saw the beans and heard Jack's story, her patience quickly left her. She was so angry that she threw the beans out of the window and they scattered in all directions. Girl, now you just as dumb as he is. Because, ma'am, you don't want to cook them up. At least have one night's dinner. Like, I just feel like these are irresponsible people. I've seen these people before. They're on fatal vows. Then she threw her apron over her head and cried bitterly. Not having anything to eat, they went supperless to bed. You had something to eat, you threw it out the window. Jack woke early in the morning and seeing something darkening the window, ran downstairs into the garden. Here he found that the beans had taken root and had sprung up in a wonderful manner. Our beans don't do that. Our little seeds don't do that. We just now got tomatoes to grow. Okay, wait, I'm trying to see how many pages. Oh, this is a long story. Oh, this girl out. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have started this one. Jack doing a lot. Okay, wait. This might not be the story for us, y'all. Or there might be a part 1, part 2. Good thing I got to do it again this week. Okay, so there's going to be a part 1 and part 2 of Jay-Z or Jack. Jack or Jay-Z. That was me being a rapper, Scott.
Okay.
Here he found that the beans had taken root and had sprung up in a wonderful manner. The stalks were very thick and had so twined together that they formed a ladder-like chain. Looking up, he could not see the top. It disappeared to be lost in the clouds. He quickly made up his mind to climb to the top. I feel like this is how the cave stories start. And ran to tell his mother what he meant to do. She begged him not to go, but all in vain, for Jack set out and after climbing for some hours, reached the top, tired and quite worn out. Looking around, he found himself in a strange country. Not a tree, shrub, house, or living creature was to be seen. Jack set himself sadly upon a block of rocks and thought of his mother, and after a while began to fear that he might die of hunger. Sir, okay, I'm sorry. We done climbed up some random like vine thing and got up to the top of it, and up there was rocks and a whole nother life, and you were just sad about that? You climbed into the sky, sir. And you sitting there crying? I would have came back down and said I discovered a whole new continent. I would have become Christopher Columbus.
There you go.
Real quick. But that's just me. Presently, he saw in a distance an old woman. Sir, there are whole people up here. I would have scrolled right on. I would have did like a fireman and swung down that pole so quick and been like, y'all, guess what? I'm charging entry fee for Earth 2. But that's just me. That's just me. While Jack was looking at her, with the greatest surprise, she came up to him and with a smile asked him how he came there. Jack told her all about the beanstalk. She asked him if he remembered his father. He replied that he did not, and added that when he asked his mother about his father, she always would weep and tell him nothing. She needs some therapy. The old woman replied, I will tell you the story. But before I begin, I require a promise to do what I tell you. I am a fairy, and you must do exactly what I desire, or you will be destroyed. I would have slid down that hole right there. Like, what if she tell you to go on a spree of unaliving people? What do you do then? Because the last fairy we saw, remember Tinkerbell? Remember her? Remember her? She was having bows and arrows shot at Wendy. So what if, like, I would leave. I'd be like, this ain't the world for me, but I'm gonna send some people up here after I charge them a fee, though. Jack promised to do exactly as she bade him, and the fairy said, your father was a rich man. He was very good to the poor and always helped them. He made it a rule never to let a day pass without doing good to someone. His servants were all happy and greatly loved their master and mistress. Now a giant lived a great many miles off, and he was as wicked as your father was good. He was poor and wished to get rich no matter how. Was he robbing banks? Like, what? Like, sir, what does that mean? Hearing of your father, he thought it might be a good thing to make friends with him. He moved into your neighborhood where he pretended that he was a gentleman who had just lost all he had by an earthquake. This is a giant. Just moved into the neighborhood. Well, nobody thought nothing of it. They was like, oh, you lost all your stuff in an earthquake. Maybe it shook you really tall. We don't know. Anything's possible. Your father believed his story and gave him rooms in his own home and caused him and his wife to be treated like visitors of importance. Things went on in this way for some time, the giant becoming more impatient to carry out his plan. At last, his chance came. Your father's house was at the same distance from the shore, but with a glass, the coast could be seen clearly. Okay, I guess a magnifying glass. One day, the giant was using the telescope. The wind was very high, and he saw a fleet of ships in distress off the rocks. He hastened your father and eagerly begged him to send all the servants he could spare to help the sufferers. Everyone was at once sent off. The giant then joined your father in the study, who gave him a favorite book. Then the giant unalived him. Girl, how you know all this? Okay, I don't know when King Albert was the king, but it wasn't recent. So, ma'am, how did you get this story? If you live all the way up here, how you know? You were then 3 months old. Your mother went into the study, and how shocked she was on finding your father unalive. The giant found her and was about to serve her and you as he had done your father, but she fell to his feet and begged him to spare your life and hers. Remorse, for a moment, seemed to touch his heart. He granted your lives, but first he made her take a solemn oath never to tell you who your father was or to answer any questions about him, assuring her that if she did, he would put both of them 6 foot under. Okay. He was gonna serve them the same way he served the daddy. Your mother took you in her arms and fled as quickly as possible. She was scarcely gone when the giant repented that he allowed her to escape. He would have pursued her instantly, but he had to look out for his own safety. Sir, everybody can see you. You're huge. As it was necessary, he should be gone before the servants returned. Therefore, he loaded himself and his wife with money and jewels, set the house on fire in several places, and when the servants came back, the house was burnt to the ground. This dude is not, he ain't nothing. And his wife ain't nothing either. Girl, you just gonna watch your husband steal these people's stuff and unalive that man and almost unalive him, or not him, the wife and the baby, and you still gonna be sitting there in the cart just waiting on him to come, like ain't nothing wrong. And then you gonna watch him burn down the whole house. I became your father's guardian at his birth. Why everybody getting fairies? Scott, did you get a fairy guardian?
No.
Okay. But a short time before the giant went to your father's house, I did something wrong. To punish me, my power was taken away for a time, so it prevented me from helping him. The day on which you met the butcher, my power was given to me again. It was I who made you take the beans in exchange for the cow. I kept blaming his mama, and I am eating crow. I am wrong. He was hexed. He was hexed. That's crazy. You know what? I think I was hexed a couple of times.
Huh?
Anytime I eat sweet stuff, hexed.
Oh.
Anytime I go through the McDonald's drive-thru, I was hexed. Scott, have you been hexed?
I don't think so.
Scott has no imagination. Okay, let's keep going. By my power, the beanstalk grew so tall and became a ladder. Now the giant lives in this country, and you are the person to punish him. You will have dangers, but you must avenge the unaliving of your father. As to the giant's possessions, you may seize all you can because they belong to your father. One thing I desire, do not let your mother know you have heard your father's story till you see me again. Go ahead or go along this road until you come to the castle where the giant lives. I will protect and guard you. I'll be like, girl, but wait. You were supposed to protect and guard my father that one time, and you didn't. Like, how do I know you ain't gonna get your powers taken away again? That would be my question. I'll be like, girl, how do I know? Like, you didn't do it the last time. Like, where my daddy at? Yeah, because you failed, ma'am. You aborted the mission by getting in trouble. Like, what did you do? Did you gamble all your powers away? Like, what did you do, ma'am? How'd you lose your powers? When the fairy had ended, she disappeared, leaving Jack to pursue his journey. He walked on till after sunset, when at his great joy, he saw a large castle. A woman was at the door. He spoke to her and begged her to give him a morsel of bread and a nice lodging. Why didn't the fairy get this man something to eat? You got anything, Scott?
I don't know.
Like, girl, how you protecting and guarding somebody and you know this man ate last night? Never mind. This fairy is, again, I just feel like she gonna drop the ball here. She expressed the greatest surprise at seeing him, for it was well known that her husband was a great and powerful giant, and that he would never eat anything but human flesh if he could possibly get it. This account greatly terrified Jack, but still he hoped to escape from the giant, and again begged the woman to take him in for one night only and hide him where she thought he would be safe. The good woman at last agreed. She not good. She watched your daddy get taken under, didn't she? I think this is the wife. I don't know. For she was of a kindly nature and took him into the house. They entered a great hall, a fine great hall, then passed through a long gallery. It was very dark, just light enough to show that instead of a wall on one side, there was a grafting of iron that parted off a dungeon from whence issued the moans of poor victims whom the cruel giant kept in confinement. I would have left. At the further end of the long gallery, there was a very large kitchen with a fire burning in the grate. The good woman told Jack to sit down and gave him plenty to eat and drink. Jack, not seeing anything here to frighten him, soon forgot his fear and was just beginning to enjoy himself when he was roused by a large knocking at the door. The cat. Which made the whole house shake. The man's wife ran to hide him in the oven. Oh, it is the man's wife, girl. You sat there while his daddy was unalive. And then went to let her husband in. Jack heard him say in a voice like thunder, "Wife, I smell fresh meat." "Oh, my dear," she replied, "it is nothing but the people in the dungeon." The giant appeared to believe her and walked into the very kitchen where poor Jack was hidden, who was more frightened than ever. At last, the giant seated himself by the fireside while the wife made the supper. Little by little, Jack got over his fright so far as to look at the giant through the small crack. And he was quite astonished to see the enormous quantity he ate. Okay, wait. Let me look. Because we might just stop here. I don't know why this story's so long. I don't even know why this story's so long. Okay, we're going to stop with Jack peeking through and being like, "Oh my God, look at how much that man eating." We will resume this story probably, maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
We still haven't got to how this has anything to do with Jay-Z, but we're going to get there. Scott, we're going to get there. I know you want to know. Do you even know who Jay-Z is?
Yeah.
Okay, so we just wanted to at least just stop by, say hi, give you a little bit of story. We're going to try to come back tomorrow. I probably will be back tomorrow. So but I got to cook today. Sorry, I got to cook dinner. So from wherever we are to wherever you are, peace, love, happiness. We'll be back with the rest of the story tomorrow. And we got to do super scary sleepover. And of course, Sunday Funday School. And of course, Sherlock. One of them going to get gone though. So anyway, we will see you guys tomorrow morning likely. And bye. I got to get cooking. Bye.